Hello beautiful people, and I want to demonstrate my Emacs workflow, so prepare to be amazed, okay? So let's say you were studying linear algebra like myself, right? And your professor gave you a homework. So let's create a new file. Let's call it homework.org, and of course I use org mode, and let's give it a title, linear algebra homework, right? And say one of the questions says given the matrix blah blah, solve it, and we're right to solve a matrix. We reduce to equivalent form, okay? Now we want the matrix to be written here. We don't want blah blah, of course. And let's for example, let's for demonstration purposes, let's create a random matrix, and results, not results. What this says basically is it tells org mode I want this code executed, but when exporting to PDF, don't output it in the document. So we create a matrix. We want a random matrix over the integer ring, for example, and we want it to be of size 6, for example. And we can, let's execute it. And we didn't output anything, so it doesn't output it. I've written a helping function that helps me output stuff in LaTeX, and it gets automatically rendered by org mode, as you see. And then to insert the matrix here, we use something that's called inline code blocks in org mode. So we say src sage, which tells it I want to execute sage code, and let's just print the matrix, insert the matrix here, basically what this says. And you might think, well, what happened? Oh yeah, my bad, it should be curly braces. And you might think this is unintuitive or something, but really you get used to it. And I know the colors are odd, but it's probably because I'm using this theme. If you were using a better theme, it wouldn't have colors like that. And let's see what it looks like in the PDF. Okay, I have a shortcut to open the PDF file inside Emacs, which you can do that, by the way. There's a PDF viewer called PDF Tools for Emacs, and it's really good. And there it is. There is the PDF file. So let's say we want to solve the matrix. So we do src sage this matrix dot equivalent form, right? And we type latex all, which is a function that I wrote that helps me output stuff. And there's the solution. That's it. So we export to PDF, and it automatically refreshes the PDF preview. And because I'm recording, it's kind of slow, so bear with me for a bit. And it should be update any second now in the PDF view. And yep, there it is. And say we want, for example, to let's multiply this matrix. We don't want to solve it, we just want to multiply it. There's endless possibilities. Sagemath is very powerful. It can do basically anything. So let's multiply the matrix by 10, for example, and there's that. There's the matrix multiplied by 10. Let's say we want to insert a plot, a mathematical function, and we type, let's start a sage block. We want to tell that we want the results to be a file because it's an image, and we want it to export just the results. We don't want it to export the code itself. we forgot to tell it we want to insert Sage code, and we just write plot, for example, cosine of x, and we tell it we want you to plot from, for example, I don't know, -10 to 10, and it should render. Well, it's usually not this slow, but because I'm recording, OBS is exhausting my CPU. As you see, look, it's using almost 6 cores. I don't know why, for some reason. And there's the plot. Inside org mode, you don't even need a preview. But if we can compile that again. I hope it's not as slow as last time, because I'm recording. Come on. It should be rendered onto the PDF any second now. And the great thing about this, it's not only exporting to PDF, it's also automatically exporting to my blog. So this is a local version of my blog, and there it is. There's the file. There it is. It's automatically exporting to my blog too, not only to PDF. Well, I'm using a package called something Hugo, I don't know. There it is, which exports org mode to Markdown, and then converts it to for Hugo to serve it as a blog. And this is a local version of my blog, which automatically synchronizes with the remote version of my blog. And there's endless possibilities. If I were to show you some of my notes on, let's for example look at this file. This file contains my notes on linear algebra, and you see how cool it looks. You don't even need a preview. You don't even need a live preview, a PDF that automatically updates everything you do in Emacs. Inside here, let's for example add multiplied by 10 or something, and it automatically renders that below. And there it is. It rendered it. But let's remove that because I don't want to mess up my file. And everything is in org mode. You don't even have to have a preview, and that's why I love Emacs. You can basically run any code. It doesn't have to be sagemath. It can be anything. And well, in the case of sagemath, it's useful for me because it can convert mathematical expressions to LaTeX, which is really good. Let's go back to the file. Let's, for example, let's say we want to I don't know, integrate something, right? So we write let's since we don't want those matrices to be in line because it looks kind of weird, let's let's use the display function that I wrote, and compile it again. It should be done in half a minute or something. Again, it's not usually this slow. It's because I'm recording. It's really slow. OBS is just exhausting my CPU. I don't know why. Look, it's 700% almost. Come on, and there it didn't render it in. Oh well, there it is. It updated. Took a little bit of time. Well, let's for example say we want to integrate something, a function, for example. So we write integrate. I don't know. 10x to the power of 8 plus log of x, 10 multiplied by log of x. We forgot a multiplication sign there, and we want it to be output in display mode, in math display, and we I compiled it, but I didn't run it in the buffer. So we waited for it to be compiled, but I could have just run it in the buffer and got the output there. I can share my dot files if you want to know how I do all of this. but you know, it takes some time to set it all up to be this efficient and this, you know, but it's totally worth it in the end. And it should update any second now. Come on. Well, we can see it here maybe. That's weird. Oh, we forgot to, this has an error. We forgot to give it the variable it should integrate with respect to. Yeah, this should work. We execute it. And there it is. There's the integral. There's the result of the integral. It should be rendered. There it is. And we can compile again. And this time it's gonna compile properly because it doesn't have an error in it. And you know, that's it. That's what I wanted to showcase. Thanks for watching, and I hope I inspired you to use Emacs. You know, org mode is really powerful. You know, it's the killer feature for me. It's the reason why I use Emacs. I was a long-term Vim user, but trust me, Emacs is totally worth it. And you can use Evil mode if you like Vim. You know, I still love Vim, but I use Emacs because Emacs can also, you know, contain Vim. You know, it has Vim emulation almost perfectly. You know, it has almost perfect Vim emulation inside it using Evil mode. And there's the result of the compilation. If we look at the blog, and it should be here. There's the result of the integral. Right. That was it. See ya.